Hey, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Hopefully this isn't a concurring series, but it's midnight and I got inspired, which is good and bad. I just get inspired when I see stitches that I like or just designs that I see on Instagram. I mean, I had to turn it off because there was so much great hand-dyed yarn that I was watching. Keep on the lookout for episode 2 of Yarn, where I showcase what I find on Instagram in terms of hand-dyed yarn. We're gonna bring it down in terms of the price level, and we're gonna focus on one of my favorite brands to work with, which is Mandala. So if you don't know, if you're not part of the Mandala crochet group or Mandala brand group on Facebook, you should definitely get on it. But I just love it because even before I even know, they tell you when the new colors come out, and I saw one that I saw a couple that I really liked. So yeah, I got one of them. I got 2 of them. I do have some swatches. So I have this sweater made in the Wool Ease blend from Mandala. And this is a basket weave stitch that I made all the way through. This is about 1.5 cakes. I still don't have this much left. I don't think I'm gonna do it this completely, although I do love, see, I just love it. I just don't have enough yarn. It is a size 3, and in total it's about 1,000 yards. And then I have this other one, this finished one. I made this one using the Waffle Stitch mixed in with half double crochet and window pane stitch on the bottom. This colorway, if you look here, it goes from green to the blues. I think I want to follow that, so that way the blue should be closer to the bottom of the neck. Given that in mind, that means I'm going to start on the outside of the cake. I don't really matter if it's inside or out. So I'm going to start with the greens, work my way down for the color. I will probably, given the colorway on the second cake, which I got 2 that are similar. So once I finish from green to gray, what I might end up doing is cutting the yarn, not cutting, but like going into the color and working my way back out. So green to gray, gray, going backwards. So that way the color, as it's playing, this bright color, this blue and purple, will stay in the middle, and the rest can be neutral colors, if that makes sense. So that's my process to do this, and I'm hoping that the colorways play out nicely and that they're not too, that they're good for menswear. So real quick, let's just go over this product. I have an original Mandala here, and this is one of the new ones. So it's just a little couple differences is they have a new label, as you can see. Nice and cleaner now, it's different. But everything is still the same. The specs are still the same. It's still 590 yards. It's still made in Turkey. It's still 100% acrylic, and recommended hook size and everything is still the same. So as you can see, everything's still the same. And then if I look into it, the fiber, this seems a little bit smoother, the new colorways. By smoother, I mean it has like a, how do I call it? Like a felt texture to it, whereas the originals, you can definitely see the, you know, the spiral, the twisting of the yarn. You can see it more in the originals than in these. So to review, 62 inches neck hole, neckline, 2 rows of half double crochet, and then you're gonna increase every second stitch on the 3rd row. So 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase. Now I'm gonna do 4 normal rows of half double crochet. So I just finished doing the 4 rows after increasing after every second stitch, and as you can see, it's actually coming out. This is the shape that you want to aim for. It's I call it the umbrella shape. There's 2 ways you can always make a yoke. There's one where it's a perfect circle. This one it's a little bit tighter, but it's going straight down, and I prefer doing that with this kind of yarn. just mainly because you get a great shape, as you can see here, because your shoulders go down that way. So I like it. That's my preference for it. So once again, 62 stitches neck hole, 2 rows half double crochet. On the 3rd row, increase after every 2nd stitch, then go down 4 rows, and it should look like this. And this is using a size H recommended hook that it says on the label to use. So the color as it's playing out is so far so good. I wanted it to be green at the top, so that way we can keep the other purples and the blues towards the middle. Cool, so I just finished doing the last 4 rows. What I ended up doing is doing one more increase after every 2nd stitch, and now I am starting to do the waffle stitch with double crochets. So to review, 62 stitches neckline, 2 rows of half double crochet. On the 3rd row, increase after every 2nd stitch, go down 4 rows of half double crochet, increase again on that row, 4 more rows, and finally do 1 more row of increase after the 2nd stitch. And now you're able to start with the waffle stitch. I did a double crochet, and then I'm just going into front post. When I do the front post for waffle, I'm going into the half double crochet. So I just want to show you a little bit of what I'm doing. So when I'm doing the waffle stitch, I don't know if you can tell right now, it is, so I started off with 2 normal double crochets, and then I did 2 front posts here. And the great thing about when you're doing the final increase on that row is that your 2 front posts is actually the stitch where you are increasing twice. So it's very easy to see it coming along. So the 2 normal rows are in between the increased stitch, normal, front post, normal, front post. So I'm just going to take you into a couple stitches so you guys can see. So when I start off, my personal preference is when I do the front post, I right away go into that hole that is next to it, the stitch. So I'm going to do 2 normal. And then the final thing there is the next 2 is the increase. So that's where I'm going to do the front post. So I'm going to stick it in the front, do a double crochet, stick it in the front, double crochet. Go right into the next one, double crochet, front post on the 2 increasing stitches. And that's how I like to do my waffle stitches. So this is what it's coming out to. Look at that, guys. Very, very nice. The waffle stitch, you're starting to see it form. If I put it up to me, I'm able to get a little bit of that stretch if you want, so that way you can see how much of the body you actually need. So for me personally, this seems pretty good in terms of the length, but this is just for me. I'm about to do my measurements, but that's why you always want to make sure when you're doing this, the yoke, the top part of half double crochets, that you're increasing enough for your entire body. So even if you're bigger than me, your proportions are bigger than me. So if you do need more stitches, that's totally fine. So where I ended here, you can add an extra 4 rows or even 3, and then do another increase after every 2 stitches. Because proportion wise, if you need more, that means you're having more body length, so you can add more stitches, and it's gonna look big on me, but it won't be big on someone else. Good morning. So I ended up going to sleep around 5 a.m. I couldn't work on it anymore. I got tired, but I did progress pretty far into it. I hit the blue, almost down to the cake. So I'm gonna get down to the gray. What I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna go into this color and start from the middle out, so that way the blue and the purple stay nice and snug in the middle, and then that way the top and the bottom are gonna be green. And let's do a quick update. So I just finished doing the body in waffle, and I left the arms just as they are so you guys can see where I finished on the yoke of this garment. But yeah, check it out, you guys. Look at that. It looks good, right? So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna make the arms a little bit longer, just so that way it actually looks like a shirt, and not really like a short sleeve short like that. But anyways, this is one cake, guys, all the way here where it goes into the gray. And then I started the second cake here and I went in reverse. So that way you get this nice color striping effect. Looks good, right? Really, really nice. Nice and spongy, nice and light, not too tight, just hangs off the body. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Worn. And I still have this much cake of the other one, and I have the green left over on the other cake. So there's definitely enough for the arms, which I'm gonna do green. And yeah, so I'm debating right now. You see how there's the dark gray at the bottom? To give it a little bit of cohesiveness to the garment, I'm debating if I want to keep it, turn it green, or just leave it like that and add the green on the arms. So as I cut it up and everything and I finish it up, this is a good length. Check it out, guys. Okay, so final update. I just sealed off the neck. I added 2 rows of decreasing stitches because it was a little bit too wide and it was reaching up to my traps, but I brought it up to the neckline. See how it's literally right there to my shirt. So that's my point of reference. And then I closed it off on the arms. I added 5 stitches of half double crochet. That's just to extend it a little bit and give it that mid-arm sleeve. Because technically, if I lift it up, see how long my sleeve is? That's my reference point, this t-shirt. That was my video for this mandala t-shirt, sweater, menswear. Hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel so you can see more. This is in the new colorway Ghidorah from Mandala, LION brand yarns. And I mean, it couldn't have gone any better. There's no mistakes here on the yoke. Then it transitions nicely into the waffle stitch all the way down. Some detailing here on the arm and on the bottom to close it off and give it some shape. Other than that, even if you're wearing a black shirt underneath or white, it'll definitely go with this sweater. And I just let the colors flow. The only thing I controlled was when I started here in the middle, when the colors started to shift. But other than that, this was a very fun, easy project to do. Only 2 stitches, half double crochet and waffle stitch. And yeah, so we have another video coming up with Mandala Mothra, which is another colorway that they just came out in. So stay tuned for that. But if you like this video, don't forget, like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be updated the next time I release the video.